Hello everyone and welcome back to my SimCity 4 Let's Play. For episode, I have absolutely no idea which episode it is. I hope you haven't forgotten about it. I mean, it has been about 6 months, I think, since I did the last episode, but I've recently found interest in SimCity again. I got a new computer now, so I think the quality should be better as well, both the recording quality and the play quality as well. I mean, there should be less lag and everything. For those of you who forgot, let's do a quick overview of what we have. So we have a region here based on the London region. I mean, I renamed it to London Reading right now. Based on the Maxis London region. We have the airport, we have the main CTD area here, Reading itself. We have Hartford, which is another big part. We have Addington on this side. And then a few smaller feeding cities like this one, which is new, Sevenoaks. I've built that without you guys. This is Barnet, which is a really industrial city. There's nothing but industry in there, but it's useful for demand and stuff. Yeah, let's look at the traffic map. Sorry for the strange colors. I mean, there's some kind of problem with my region transport overview thingy. So the black one is supposed to be the color we want, so that we can see the roads quite well, but apparently right now the normal Maxis is loading, so it looks a bit strange. My apologies. So yeah, you can see the airport quite good here. Also this village here, in case you wonder, this is Salsey. This has not much. It has a small army base in there, which was a big feature in one of the episodes. Other than that, there are a few changes. I mean, I built, of course, more railway lines. It connects over here, for example, and also a lot of changes, especially in Hartford. There were a lot of changes, so I guess we'll go there first, and then I can show you around, and maybe we can do some stuff. And see you then. And welcome back, and welcome to Addington. Yeah, what do we have here? This is the big change I made recently. There used to be just the RHW to reading over here, that extended out here, then converted to an RHW2, and then it went into a road. But I've extended it first of all over here, so with the bridge and then a few curves. We have an add grade intersection here, small overpass here, and then some kind of an on-off ramp thingy here, which is kind of overpowered. I mean, it really doesn't get a lot of use. Barely any of my RHWs ever get any use. I think it's just a problem with the pathfinding, really. But of course there are a few other changes here. For example, I think back in the previous episode we had the end of the avenue that went to Reading here, and then it converted to a road, which then had an add grade intersection with the rail and the road here, which then led into the RHW. So most of that is gone now. I upgraded that to a big avenue that goes over the rail and over the RHW, and has a non-complete on and off ramp system. One that goes here, the other goes here. But yeah, like you can see, most of them really don't get a lot of use. If you look at the traffic overview, I mean, the real problems are over here with these buildings. Yeah, so that's a big change. I mean, it took some time to build it, because it was kind of tricky to get it to work with the bridges, which have a lot of slope problems. And also I upgraded my slope mod. It used to be a decent slope mod, but with still quite sharp edges. But now it's a lot more smooth. So actually, when I build new roads here, where old roads were, it usually comes into trouble, because the old roads could have been much steeper than the new ones. Yeah, what I wanted to do this episode is just, I mean, get back into it. It's been a while for me as well. I mean, I'm a bit nervous about it, to be honest. And start by making more of this farmland actual residential, because as you can see, demand is through the roof. This is a bit of an issue that I kind of caused myself, which is I use the CAM, so the Colossus Add-on mod, and I actually use a beta version of it, of version 2.0, which is not out to the public, and it requires you to patch your SimCity 1.dat, which is an actual, see, there's a problem, an actual game file. So an actual game file by Maxis, and you have to, come on, why does this work? Come on, I mean seriously, can I do anything about this? I cannot. Well, that works, but no thank you. It should probably work now though. So that was a bit of a problem. I mean, you have to patch it first, and I did that on the last, on my previous computer I did that, and I had no problems of course. But on this computer I completely forgot about it at first, and so I was running the cam v2 without having patched my SimCity 1.dat, which caused, well, which at that time it didn't cause any problems, but when I realized I was using it the wrong way, I did in fact patch it, and then it did start causing trouble. I mean, you can see the demand is absolutely through the roof. I mean, there's more than 50,000 demand for commercial services right now. I have absolutely no idea. The agraric and the residential are also quite high, but on the other hand, there's also a lot of dilapidation all around. So yeah, I'm not really sure what to do. I'll probably, I mean, live through it, and it will work out eventually. It'll just take some time to get everything worked again. Oh no, don't crash please. Oh wow, that was a big lag spike. So yeah, just as I was saying that the recording quality should be better and I should have more frames and everything, yeah, then big lag spike. Yeah, so the new computer, that was, well, the main reason actually why I started recording again was because I got a new computer. I mean, I've had it for a bit now, about a month or two right now. Paid for it through an internship I have at my university. So I have a new computer. It's pretty good. I mean, I'm pretty, well, I'm not really proud of it or anything, but it's a good computer and it runs SimCity quite well, although I had some problems with it. The first times I tried, I was really disappointed because it actually really, it was really bad, and it couldn't run SimCity at all. It was really bad, and I mean I couldn't scroll or anything. The frames per second really dropped when I scrolled. So it was pretty much unplayable. I mean the frames were good as long as I didn't scroll, but SimCity is really a game in which scrolling is quite important, at least in the way I play. So, but I figured that out eventually. It turned out, I mean, it's a graphics card issue. I mean, the game is just not written for modern day graphic card and modern day computers. But I mean, somehow, and I absolutely have no idea how, it works absolutely fine when I run the game in windowed mode instead of full screen, which led me to believe that this was a VSync issue or something. But it doesn't really seem to be. That doesn't really seem to be the case. But yeah, in Windows it looks fine. So I mean, my new monitor is at 1080p, but I'm playing in 1600 times 900, so my old resolution technically of my old laptop. But I mean, it's okay. I mean, I'm used to it. It provides enough space for me to be able to play comfortably, so I'm not complaining really. Yeah, another thing that happened while, I mean, I was on hiatus is of course the SimCity 2013 release. That's something that I actually talked about a lot in my previous episodes and that I was actually looking forward to. Yeah, let me just quick save. That I actually looked forward to quite a bit. But as most of you probably know, the launch actually, it kind of went bad, of course. I mean, there were a lot of issues. The servers were very, well, they weren't responding very well. There was also problems with people losing their cities and everything. I mean, most of that, from what I hear, has been resolved by now. But on top of that, I mean, I tried it out. I mean, I paid for it. I mean, I'm one of those idiots. I mean, people have called me an idiot for pre-ordering it, so yeah, I guess I'm one of those idiots who paid for the game. But yeah, I paid for it. I mean, I played for it for a couple of hours, and it was decent, but it didn't. I mean, it didn't keep me interested in the game for long enough. I mean, I played it maybe in total for 8 hours, I mean, at max. It's definitely not more than that. And then my brother played on it for a bit as well. And well, neither of us was really really liked the game. I mean, I haven't even installed it on my new computer. Let's kill this fire. God damn it. Okay, fire should be handled, I hope. This looks decent. So yeah, what was I saying? My brother and I played SimCity 2013. We didn't really enjoy it. We played it for a bit. It was okay. I mean, the gameplay isn't bad, but there's a lot of issues that you run in with and bugs and everything. So that kind of takes away from the experience. I mean, I'm not one. I don't really expect to have immersion in a game like SimCity or something, but it's always nicer when it runs without or with as many bugs as possible, as little bugs as possible. And SimCity didn't really have that appeal at launch. I mean, it was pretty bugged. But I mean, they have patched quite a bit by now, I believe, and I'm glad they did. I mean, they could have just backed up and said, we don't care anymore. It's your game now, you paid for it. They didn't do that, luckily. I mean, there was a lot of public outcry, so they probably wouldn't have done it anyway. Would have made EA look even worse. But they did patch it a bit, and it's a decent game by now. I mean, I know a lot of people, well, a lot. I know a few people who played and enjoyed somewhat. But generally, I wouldn't advise anyone to buy it in its current state even. I mean, they have, like I said, they have patched it and it's better, and they are still patching it as far as I know. But, oh, that's a full save. Damn, I wanted to do a quick save there. Sorry. So how does this look? Good. Yeah, it reduced demand a little bit, I guess. One thing I would like to do, but I know we'll have to go into reading first, is actually have a GLR line through here, and then maybe this way, although yeah, this is far, so it's fractional angle, it's not diagonal, it's not straight, so that'll have to move because there's no, as far as I know, maybe it's a new feature, I don't know. Fractional angle GLR, please? That would be really cool. Yeah, it definitely won't be as a puzzle piece though. Let's see, is there any fractional angle? Nah, doesn't look like it. Nope. Nope, not fragile. So I'll have to do something about that. There's no fractional angle jam in the road? Maybe? Let's see. Oh yeah, that looks like... No, it's an S-curve, wow. Kind of look like one. Although it might be... We could probably use it. Can it fit in here? Like this? 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 It's not perfect. It might work if we adjust it a bit. It would look a bit strange with all the curves, but okay. So yeah, let's go to a different city and I'll show you around a bit there and do some more stuff. And welcome back, guys. Welcome to Addington. We've been here before, of course. Most of you will probably recognize this. It's the city with the ridiculous railway interchange, which is really useless, and the tunnel here. Excuse me. What have we done in terms of changes? Not exceptionally much. There's this here. I mean, this is also part of the RHW, so basically what it happens in the region is it's RHW2 for most of the region, and then it just extends it to a double RHW4 in reading itself. So what used to happen is it ended here on this intersection. I have extended it a bit now, so it goes further on this small thingy here. Ends up in a really tight curve over here at a great intersection with the STR, and then it becomes a normal road and gives some space here and connects to the avenue here. So it's a really it's a pretty minor change. It's not really big. This is kind of strange. It's not really a really big change, but it's a nice change. There were some traffic issues here. See, okay, look. Here the demand is like way below stuff, and the other demand is like... it's strange. So there's not a lot of traffic issues here, I believe. Oh, there's a few. Oh yeah, there's quite a few actually. This here, what's the problem here? Is it just... Yeah, it's a lot of people using it just... Yeah, I'm using a pretty... Wow, some accidents happening. Hello. Sorry guys. Yeah, so there's a lot of traffic still, but it has improved with the RHW a bit. Also added a small section of extra rail here, which allows passengers to go over the border with the passenger trains, because I thought this would work with this guy here, with the neighbor intersection here, the neighbor connector. But apparently, I'm not sure if it's a problem with the station itself or with neighbor connections on lots. Passengers couldn't use it, so I had to make this spur to go over the neighbor connection. Oh, there's no traffic. There's no waste here, so we can get rid of that and replace it with some industry. See if it grows. It does. What is it? Ooh, mixer. Okay. Oh, it's a Maxis one. Interesting. Haven't seen those in a while. Actually, most of this is Maxis. It might be a problem. It might be that some of my plugins didn't really transfer correctly. Yeah, what can we do here? I mean, Reading really needs more residential, so I think we'll do some work here on the border over here and actually replace more of those with residentials as well, while I'll talk a bit more about everything. So, about SimCity, yeah. What have I said about it? So yeah, I played it, my brother played it for a bit, we both weren't really into it. I mean, my brother played it for like a day or two and then got bored and never played it again. Pretty much the same deal with me. I mean, I gave the online playing a bit of a whirl, but in the beginning you couldn't even... I mean, at first it worked. If you got into the game you could actually play online with other people, but then to reduce the load on the servers, they actually made it impossible for people to use the multiplayer server choosing windows. I mean, they worked, but most of the features of it were disabled, so you couldn't, for example, search only empty servers or servers with active cities that you could get. So most of the cities that you could see in the server window were actually completely full with people, and you didn't have any space for building stuff. There weren't any plots available. And another problem, of course, that, I mean, that was a bit yeah, that I knew would be a problem in beforehand, is that the city plots are extremely small. I mean, I've seen some pictures somewhere that compare the city plots that you get in SimCity 2013 with actual cities, and it's just, yeah, it's way too small. You get, I mean, you fill up a city in, like, I mean, if you play for 50 minutes in the same city, it's probably full if you really try. And it gets boring after a while. I mean, you can't really stay in the same city for a while. So you have to go to the region and then get a new city there and then build it up from the beginning again. And it's a lot of stuff is also kind of repetitive, because you have to really follow the pattern that they laid out for you with the road that you have to drag out, and there's only one way to connect to the region. Then you have to build the city hall and everything. I mean, it's pretty much the game is being played for you, because you just have to do what they say. You don't really get, I mean, I don't, at least, you don't really get a lot of sandbox feeling to it, which is exactly what I like about SimCity. I mean, you can use your creativity, and I know I'm not the most creative builder in SimCity, I guess you could say. I mean, there's people who make a lot more visually appealing stuff than I do. But I mean, I get enjoyment from trying to build a city like somewhat naturally, which I believe that's kind of fun. I mean, it's really fun to be able to grow your city like that. And I mean, in SimCity 2013, it isn't really that. It doesn't feel that organic. I mean, it feels, yeah, as if someone played it for you, and you just get to see a movie of it and get to be able to interact at some points, and you get to choose where you place things, but that's about it. I mean, that's about the creativity that you get. You don't get creativity in how you really want to make the city. And on top of that, I mean, there's the problems with traffic and everything, so you have to be able to keep a city viable for a while. You just have to think about all the traffic that you may receive further on from the beginning, really. So you can't really do what I do, or not easily at least, so build it out and then upgrade later. Because of the way it works, you have to actually place avenues or larger capacity roads to be able to support higher density buildings, which I think in essence is a good idea and it makes sense. But there's problems with it, is that you always have to pretty much demolish an entire neighborhood for one problem. I mean, if you want to upgrade one road to a double road, then you pretty much have to demolish the entire surroundings of it, which is not the case with SimCity. I mean, you might have to rezone a bit. That's about it, really. Plus, of course, the modding support on SimCity 4, SimCity 2013 is still, well, in its infancy, really. I mean, there have been a lot of really cool mods, as far as I've seen. I haven't tried any out because I'm kind of scared of what EA or Maxis will do with people who play modded games. They haven't really done anything to them as far as I know so far, but I don't know if, how long that will take, or if they will eventually do it. I mean, it could be that they just say, sure, it's okay with us, I mean, you can mod this game, sure. But I'm not really willing to take chances on that yet. I can wait till later. I mean, it's not like the game will go away. Yeah. Okay, what can we do? I suppose I could go into reading for a bit. Actually, let me think. I'll see what we do next in a bit. Bye. See you. Hello guys, just a quick visit here from Reading itself, so the big main city. I won't be staying here very long because I'm running out of time, and I'm also having some CTD issues in this city. I'm not sure if it's just the size of the city that is causing problems, but sometimes it just quits for absolutely no reason. I mean, you can have CTDs based because of hovering and transit-enabled lots over puzzle pieces, or the other way around, sorry. But this, I mean, it just crashes randomly, really. I mean, I've looked at the exception reports and it's just, yeah, access violation. That's it. Yeah. Okay, what has changed here? First of all, this has become a bit of a high-tech industry area, which used to be a very pollutant part of industry. I've upgraded this to high-tech because, well, it pollutes less and it provides jobs for higher educated Sims, which is exactly the kind of people I want to attract here in Reading. So yeah, I've done that. That wasn't really that hard. I think I'm not sure, I also upgraded this. It used to be a road, I believe, and upgraded it to an avenue. It's not really that hard. Other than that, I also rebuilt the entire highway here. I mean, it hasn't changed or anything, but I had to rebuild it because of some strange bug with the NAM. I mean, a problem with me, really. A bad installation on my part. Yeah, we have the hospital here, which I allotted a while ago. Actually, there's good news on this. I mean, I know there were people who wanted it. I've actually uploaded it to the Lex, the SimCity 4 Devotion lot exchange. I will post a link to that in the description if someone wants to download it.